Welcome, everyone. I am Mr. Oak from the Oak and Leaf podcast, and we are here today with Mechelle from Moments with Mechelle. So, I'll tell a quick story about how I met Mechelle. So, one of my favorite cigar bars is Capital Cigar in Bethesda, Maryland. And I was sitting there one day, there was an event, and I remember Stephanie came up to me and she says, I need to introduce someone. And I look over and I said, who's that tall Black woman over there? And I was like, everyone has come up to her and everyone's talking to her. I said, okay, I think she's right. I think I need to go meet her.
Yeah.
So we shook hands and then we met, and I think the rest is history. But why don't you tell the viewers exactly what you do for cigars?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. My name is Mechelle Merkerson. I am the founder of Cigars with M, which is a cigar education company. We curate cigar education experiences, and we also have a show called Cigars with M that we teach education about cigars every Monday.
Awesome. Okay. So now what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and switch gears. So we're going to talk a little bit more about cigars, and Mr. Leaf is going to go ahead and ask the other question regarding where you started, where you are now, and how can you help the viewers?
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello. Thank you for doing this for us. I really
Yes, of
appreciate it.
course.
We've been here for a day now in the Dominican Republic. I want to say I'm very impressed with how connected you are
Thank
to the
you.
people in the cigars community.
Thank you.
It was mind blowing. Like, it's like, wow, Mechelle really has. You've cultivated this niche within the cigar community. Can you speak to that? Can you tell us how long have you been in the cigar community? Talk more about that niche, because it's very unique to you. Like,
Yes.
it's something that you created,
Yeah.
and it's unique to Mechelle.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So I started in the industry in 2018 and really just kind of like hit off. So my dad taught me how to smoke cigars that same year.
Good dad.
Yes, love my dad. Shout out to my dad because he's everything. So he taught me how to smoke cigars, and then from there I just kind of like bolted into the industry, going to different events, going to different cigar lounges, traveling, all the things. And in 2022 of July, I decided I want to do something else. And the team that I had at the time, that's still my current team, which I absolutely am grateful for. Because sometimes when you're doing business or you're doing new things, the people that were with you are not always the people that stay with you. So I'm very fortunate to have those same people that believed in me from the very beginning, to now still continue in the dream that we have built together. So in 2022, I started my show, Cigars with M, and now we're at 191 episodes. Never missed a week since I started. So we're on the road to 200. And in my episodes, I mainly focus on cigar education as a whole. Of course, we're, doing Seed to Box, which is a series that I do every year, digging a little bit deeper into the cigar industry as a whole, tobacco education, and then cigars from a factory standpoint.
That is fascinating.
Yes.
And I was going over your bio, and you are a certified cigar sommelier.
Yes, I am.
Can you? How does I want to be a cigar sommelier?
Yes, and you can.
How do I go
You
about
can.
doing that?
So, the wonderful university, let me tell you. Okay, so I just did an episode on Tobacco University actually a couple weeks ago. Jorge is mastermind. Literally, he's the owner of Tobacco University, and he had a vision to really just make education in the cigar industry, pipe industry, and then just as a whole have a platform that really cultivates all of the information in one spot. The education is free, but then you pay for the certification and you have to go through that test. So for me personally, when I started in the industry, I realized that, if I'm going to be doing doing a big part in the industry. I want to make sure that I'm not just someone just spilling out information. So I spent that time from 2018 and 2022 to really focus on how can I be super connected, and
Yeah.
not just relationship wise, but how can I actually brush up on all the knowledge that I need? What books do I need to read? What
I
people do I need to
understand.
talk to? What kind of experiences do I need to have in order to put me in position to be in the space that I'm in now? Um, from that, I then in 2023 decided I was going to get my sommelier certification. And I spent a whole year from 2022 to 2023 focusing on really honing in on what's needed, because I didn't want to just, oh, I'm getting out there and I'm doing these shows and episodes and I don't really know what I'm talking about. I do not want to do that.
Okay.
Also, because I'm a Black woman in America, that's not something that we have the liberty of being able to do.
You gotta know your stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, and it's always constantly people trying to quiz you,
Hmm.
and so for me, I would rather be prepared for the quiz
Yeah.
than for me not to be prepared. So I then took the liberty of, being a part of Tobacco University as a whole, getting to know Jorge as an owner.
Yeah.
And when you call Tobacco University, you actually get Jorge. And
Nice.
it's not every day that you have an organization within the industry that's so widely known around the world
Okay.
and that you get the actual owner.
Nice.
So, being able to go through the process of getting the certification, becoming a sommelier, and then also being able to use that information and leverage it to invite other people to become sommeliers too.
Yeah.
Because it's not that you can't do it. And I think sometimes in the industry, there's certain things, or even just in every industry, there's certain things that are just, oh, well, you can't do that because you don't have XYZ. And that's
Okay.
not the case with
Got,
Tobacco
got
University.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and then you're able to kind of segue that, parlay that into the education you offer your folks, right?
Yes.
And what is that class called? How often do you offer the class, and where is it located?
Yes, absolutely. So I started January of 25 doing curated cigar education experiences for consumers.
Got it.
So prior to that, I was doing cigar education classes and having clients like winery clients and brewery spirit companies that would hire me to come and teach cigar education, do a tasting experience, provide cigars, tobacco, all the things for their actual event. So then I shifted gears and wanted to mainly focus on kind of an untapped group, which would be the consumers. Although the cigars are made for consumers, sometimes there is a kind of a little bit of a lack needed in terms of education for the consumer itself. So in January of 25, I started the road to creating what I call VIP with Mechelle. So
Okay.
there are these intimate experiences that are 10 to 12 students max, and they're at various hospitality establishments, working with them to really kind of draw in a different kind of clientele, but also provide a very intimate type of experience that they've never had before. So it's a 2-hour class, and I did 25 classes last year with 25 different cigar manufacturers
Okay.
and focused on telling their story from a perspective of firsthand experiences. Because a
Yeah.
lot of these people, well, really all of the people that I had classes with, I know them personally. And so I was able to provide pictures, provide, a story to, my experience with them, and also do interviews prior
Yeah.
to actually get their version of their story and put it into my words, which was really nice. And then over the course of last year, which is 2025, I had over 100 students that attended my
Wow. That's
classes. Yes,
awesome.
and so it's been incredible. This year we're actually on tour. So I just toured in London, and I did a class, my first international
Yeah.
class in January, and so we're carrying on the tour. I start my cigar education residency at Buddy's DC in Washington, DC. And so I'll be the resident cigar educator, which to my knowledge, there hasn't been a cigar education residency in the entire industry.
Wow.
So I'm
Excellent.
super excited and very grateful to have the
Well, that's
opportunity for that.
awesome. Good
Yes,
for you.
absolutely.
That's great.
Yes, I'm so excited.
We currently are in the Dominican Republic in the city of
Yes.
Santiago, and we are at Pro Cigar.
Yes, we
Right?
are.
I call Pro Cigar in the DR. They
Yes.
call it. And so, how can you talk to the viewers? Share with them how many times have you been to Pro Cigars? What does that mean to the cigar community? And how do you fit into all of this?
Pro Cigar is always a special time. It's a special time for me personally because I get to see friends that maybe I have made along the way that I don't get to see them at PCA, or I don't get to see them other times of the year because of, for whatever reason. Folks come to Pro Cigar and it's like a whole welcoming, like family experience. It's incredible. The factory tours, the parties, the private tastings,
Mm.
the power talks. It's just a full week of fun. And the amount of education that you are given during Pro Cigar really like makes or breaks them from other people. So there's, lots of cigar festivals that occur and we appreciate
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
And I will say, me personally, I appreciate the fact that Pro Cigar really has a
Yeah.
education focus.
Yeah.
Because I'm an educator, it's like I'm going for the education. I want to focus on that. That's the biggest part.
Yeah.
That's why I would pay the money to go and to be here,
Yeah.
because I recognize that me as an industry professional, I have the ability to get all of the content that I need and also touch up on additional things that maybe I can't get in the US. Like, we have cigar factories in the US, but when you are in the Dominican Republic, obviously you are doing things as though the Dominicans who live here are doing,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
a part of their entire culture.
Yeah.
And cigars and tobacco is a part of their entire culture.
Yeah.
So you get a different cultural experience.
Yeah.
And Pro Cigar has 12 members. And those 12 members have been, really cultivating.
When you say, pardon, stop you there.
Yeah,
You
no,
say
good.
12 members, or you mean 12
Cigar
the
manufacturers.
big 12 cigar manufacturers?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm
Yes.
sorry, continue.
No, you're
Go ahead.
fine. So, those 12 members make up Pro Cigar.
Got it.
And currently the sitting president is Lito Gomez.
Got it.
Love Lito. He's the owner of LFD Cigars, La
Mhm.
Flor Dominicana.
Mhm.
And so, Pro Cigar does a number of things within the Dominican, but also they really focus on, with the festival, providing a consumer-driven education party like feel. Now, mind
Okay.
you, you go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're doing factory tours. You're walking and talking with the manufacturers. You're eating and being merry with the people that maybe you only see on TV or only
Mhm.
see on Instagram. And now you're walking and talking with them. So that
Yeah.
firsthand experience that
Yeah.
you most of the time would never get, because maybe they can't come to the US
Mhm.
for a cigar event
Yeah.
or to be somewhere, or maybe the ticket is too high for you
Yeah.
in the US
Yeah.
to go to maybe a charity function, but you get to walk and talk with them.
A cigar enthusiast is really fascinating, and
Yes.
it's you get to kind of rub elbows with those the influential people in the industry
Yes.
and the people that are responsible for the cigars that you smoke, right?
Mhm.
That is really
And you can see
fascinating.
the direct impact. So, maybe it's this younger gentleman that just started rolling cigars.
Yeah.
And now you're meeting this younger gentleman who eventually one day is going to be a master roller.
Yeah.
And you've made that interaction, so every time you come back to that factory, he remembers you.
Right.
Or the young lady who is responsible for giving a tour, and you came to the factory that she works at, and now you have this connection with that person. Like, there are people, I came here for the first time 2 years ago, and there are people that I met 2 years ago and I haven't seen them in 2 years.
Wow.
And I see them and it's like a welcome home type of experience,
Nice.
and it's incredible.
That's awesome. I was because of you, we're able to have a significant amount of time with a high level executive for Casa Carita.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was mind blowing, the insight to that world. So thank you for
Of
that.
course.
And I guess that's what Pro Cigars is all about, right?
Yes.
Coming here and really getting the behind the curtain, so to speak.
Yes.
So really appreciate that. You had mentioned something regarding PCA.
Yes.
You are a member of Women of PCA,
Yes, I
right?
am. I
And
serve as
also,
co-chair.
and there's another organization part of the PCA subcommittee or something.
Yes.
What is that?
So PCA as a whole is our main association.
What does it stand for?
Premium Cigar Association.
Premium Cigar
Mhm.
Association.
And they're
got it.
located in Washington, D.C. There is where their headquarters, the president of the, or I'm sorry, the executive director is Josh Haversky. And Josh has done such a wonderful job since he has become the executive director. And with that, PCA has the main responsibility of doing so many things. But it is really providing that support for retailers, really providing that support for manufacturers, and blending the industry, retailers, manufacturers together. Also providing consumer information in terms of, cigaraction.org, which is a platform that PCA has created to make sure that as a consumer, you can send these emails to your senators, to your congresswomen or men, and it's very easy. So they make it easy for you so that you can then put your support.
Got it.
Because, of course, we're fighting all kinds of
Mhm.
not so good legislation in terms of trying to keep us from smoking our beloved cigars.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, PCA has such a huge responsibility in addition to them doing so many other incredible things, partnerships with Tobacco University, partnerships with other organizations that help support the retailers and the industry as a whole. And then, of course, we have a huge trade show that actually is coming up in April. And so with that, that is another homegoing going experience. Like it's literally like all of us are welcoming each other and all of us industry wise, we're being able to connect. As far as Women of PCA is concerned, I happily sit on the Women of PCA board, if you say, and I'm a co-chair, and being a founding co-chair means so much to me because I have the opportunity to kind of use my knowledge that I've learned so far and be able to help and push it out to women in the industry
Mhm.
but also be able to provide like mentoring and social media and really put like the skills outside of me being in my role with my company, put it in a place where I can help and assist as many people as possible, especially women, because of course I am a woman and I believe that women empowerment is extremely helpful. Also pulling those women who were like real kind of skeptical about being in the cigar industry, because it is a male driven industry, but women are here and we're here to stay, right?
Yeah.
And we have a very strong place within the industry as a whole. So being
Okay.
able to provide that, come on, sis, you got this. Like
Yeah.
you can be a part of this. There is a place for you here in this space.
Is there anything that the cigar community is there anything that the cigar community can do to be more welcoming to women?
Yeah.
To because like I really believe that where women are, where women feel comfortable, there's money to be made. Right?
Yes.
In places where women don't feel so comfortable, it's not a really good business environment, right? So what can we do as a cigar community to make things more welcoming to women?
I would say personally, some of the things that I noticed that would be actually very helpful is being able to do the little things. So when a woman is coming into a cigar lounge as a man, not immediately saying to her, "Hey, do you want a flavored cigar?"
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? It's something so small like that that sometimes it really is offensive because
They'll
it is
make
the idea
assumptions, right?
of, this person probably doesn't need a strong cigar because she's a lady. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that ladies don't smoke flavored cigars,
Yeah.
but making the assumption of what my palate is
Yeah.
something that is so small but also so big.
Yeah.
Also being in a space where there is a woman in the room and sometimes it becomes
The sense of attention.
yes, and it's not necessarily that there's a problem with making a woman the center of attention, but it then becomes a test.
I
And so
see.
it's
Yeah.
immediately like, "Oh, well, you're here, you're smoking this cigar."
You have to prove yourself or
Yes,
something.
and
Yeah.
so and I have been in many situations, unfortunately, that way, but I, of course, hold them very well, hold them
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
because I know my stuff.
Yeah. You
Um
learn very quickly.
Right, very quickly,
that
right? But it's
you know
also
your
just
stuff.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's also just the idea of creating that safe environment, creating the welcoming environment. It is more than just, hey, we're allowing you in the lounge. It is making the woman feel like, oh, okay, you can come in here and you can sit down, you can ask questions if you have a question, and someone asking a question is not uncomfortable or
Got it.
someone making it a weird interaction. You
Got
know
it.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I would say those would be
Interesting.
the top three things I would say.
Okay.
Hmm.
I got one last question
Yeah,
for
of
you.
course.
Okay. You are a talented pioneer entrepreneur.
Thank you.
And why cigars? You could have used your skills in other industries. Why are you lending your talents to the cigar world? What drew you in to what's so special about cigars that Mechelle is
Yeah.
involved?
So I would say, honestly, I would blame my dad.
Okay.
So I blame my dad all the time because he's such an incredible person. He's literally one of my favorite people in the
Oh,
world.
nice.
And I'm, of course, as you can tell, I'm a daddy's girl. So for me, it was the level of care, the level of interaction, the comfortability that was provided from my
That's
dad
true. Yeah.
in order to give me my first cigar experience. And every time I smoke a cigar, it's almost like a flashback that happens of my very first time smoking my cigar with my dad. And so it really carries me through the industry because I
Nice.
want people to have that same experience that I had, that same really good experience. Someone was walking you through the process, which is why my classes are so important because we are in a smaller, intimate group. You can ask all the questions you want. You can literally tell me, how you feel. And we're
Mm,
like focusing on you as an individual and not the masses. Now, mind you, I think it's great that you have larger experiences, right? But sometimes the way that people learn, especially nowadays, they need that one-on-one interaction.
mhm,
And everybody isn't built for that. Some people don't like people enough to have that
mhm,
one-on-one interaction. Or some people, they aren't able to articulate things in a way to make the person feel comfortable or safe.
mhm,
My one of my greatest gifts that I believe I have is the ability to make people feel safe,
mhm,
to encourage people, to walk them through, to hold
mhm,
their hand through whatever the process is or
mhm,
whatever it is that I'm telling you. And I am grateful for it and I do
mhm,
not take it lightly.
mhm,
And so for me, I look at it as cigars is that way I can use my gift in the most maximum way because I'm interacting with thousands of people all the time.
okay.
PCA, for example, hugging and, hello, sitting down with people, thousands of people.
Yeah.
8,000 people came to PCA last year, over 8,000. And so being able to interact with people in such a way, but also using my gift in the maximum way. I can use
Nice.
all the things that I learned in school in cigars. I
Nice.
can use my internal gifts in cigars. And
Mhm.
so it's so versatile for me. So I would say that is why I chose cigars.
That's a great
Yeah,
answer.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
I'm
of
gonna turn
course.
over to my business partner, Mr. Oak. We got a little shotgun.
Okay, Michelle, you are stuck on a desert island.
Okay.
Okay, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We're gonna do cigar shotgun.
Got it.
Okay, so don't think about the answer.
Just answer.
I'm gonna give you some choices, and
Okay.
you just choose wisely.
Okay.
Okay, first one: Connecticut or Maduro?
Maduro.
Mild, medium, or full?
Full body.
Toro, Robusto, Lancero.
Lancero.
Really?
Yes, I am a Lancero girly. For me, it's the idea that the weight of the cigar is not so heavy. So actually, a couple of months ago, I did an episode on the weight of the cigar. If I can't physically, fluidly move my wrist, then I don't want to smoke the cigar because now I feel like it's weighing me down.
So it's damn Toros. You just try and smoke and you just kind of
Just a leaning a little bit. It depends because if it's a box press Toro, then it's fine. But if it's a rounded Toro, then sometimes depending on how many leaves they put in the cigar, it can, deter me from smoking it. And definitely a Gordo because for me, it's just too big. The gauge is too big.
those damn Toros, you try and smoke and you just kind of like punch, V cut, or straight.
Punch.
Well, you said that one really
Because
quick.
I love my punch bracelet and I wear it all the time. It's very easy It is a concentration of the cigar smoke in your mouth, but not too much that you can't actually enjoy the full flavor of the cigar.
Okay. All right. Let's see you do that on a torpedo.
Yes, can't do that on torpedo, but you can do a V cut or straight.
Or you just
Yeah,
throw it
yeah.
off.
Not nine.
Okay. This one is a little loaded, just for the simple fact of how I'm going to say this one. Wood, Tupperdoor, or plug-in humidor. Of course, you can't plug in the desert.
Yeah. Well, I would say neither. I would go acrylic because
Acrylic.
literally just sticking a Boveda pack in there. Shout out to Boveda for their amazing humidification packs because they save everybody's life. Literally, you could be on a desert island for 4 months and still your cigars would be great because you have an acrylic humidor and you have a Boveda pack.
Wait, I lived that life.
Yes.
I was 9 months in the desert and I used Boveda packs. I traded them out once and
Yes.
that was it.
That's
So
it, yeah.
big shout out to Boveda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're looking for sponsors, so hit us up. And the last one, this one, again, just because, again, Mr. Oak, so of course I'm going to have to talk about spirits.
Yes.
Okay, so this one, choose wisely.
Okay.
Okay? Whiskey, rum, wine, or whiskey. And yes, I said whiskey twice.
Rum.
Rum.
Flor-de-Cana. Those would be the top ones for me.
Well, it's a good thing we're in the DR, so I guess
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, well, that wraps up Cigar Shotgun. Thank you so much for playing. And
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Lee.
Hello, Mr. Lee.
An additional shotgun question. All right. Torch or soft flame? Soft flame, nice. Okay,
Preferably
why?
a ST DuPont.
Really? Do you have one of those?
I do.
What?
I'm very grateful for it. Now, the one that I have is actually the Push ST DuPont.
Nice.
And I love it. It's probably one of my favorite lighter accessories. And not just saying that because ST DuPont is who they are, but really the Francois, their French, I would say, to me, he's an ambassador. He's
Wow.
so incredibly knowledgeable about ST DuPont and the way that the very first time that I met him, the way that he explained to me about how ST DuPont does what they do, I was so intrigued. I was sold. Like, whatever you want, you can take from me. Like, literally. And so it was the idea that not only had an additional introduction, but as I've seen ST DuPont over the last couple of years just kind of cultivate their brand even more. And then one of my home lounges is Georgetown Tobacco, which is in DC. And the selection of ST DuPonts that they have
Wow.
is just incredible. And so being able to just see the different transformations that have occurred, I would definitely say ST DuPont.
All right,
Now,
I'm
if I don't
sold. I'm going to
have
visit
that,
you.
right? If I don't have my ST DuPont, which, I carry it for special occasions, I use matches and I like to use
Okay.
matches. I do prefer to have a soft flame.
Got it. Are you frustrated sometimes with if you're smoking outside and it's, what I mean?
Yes. I mean,
You wish you had a torch?
sometimes I will say I do carry a torch and matches. That's typically what I have, just because, cigars are so delicate.
Yeah.
And so using a match is probably the best in
Got it.
terms of delicacy, right?
Mhm.
Not saying it's the best way to light. It's just in terms of your level of care, you have to be patient with matches.
Got it.
And so with a torch, it's just you light up and boom, there you go.
Mhm.
And torches are good for lots of things, like when it's windy or
Mhm.
when you happen to be in a place where you're like a little bit in a rush,
Yeah,
which you
yeah.
never should be with cigars. But if you are, then using a torch would be necessary. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you so much. That wraps it up.
Thank you.
From the Oak and Leaf Company here on location in Santiago City in the Dominican Republic, part of Pro Cigars. Pro Cigars in the DR, Pro Cigar DR.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up with one question. What are you puffing on?